Hello, thank you for the invitation to be here today as part of your Careers Day. So, my name is Sara, and I'm a group leader at the university. I'm also a lecturer. So, what I do in my everyday is that I lead a research group where we are doing investigation. So, I'm a scientist, I'm a researcher, and we investigate how plants are the way that they are. I'm also a lecturer at the university, so that means that I'm also teaching in the degree of biology, biochemistry, and biomedicine. So then I thought that I will tell you a bit about my career and how I end up in this job. So from what you can see, well, I have never been working in a company, so my career is always been ligated to academia. So that means to universities and research institutes. So when I was in high school, it was not very clear to me what I wanted to do in my future. But I knew that I enjoyed teaching, but I also enjoy science and I like chemistry and physics, but I also enjoyed English. So I was quite open in options. And finally, I decided to specialize in science. And when I was at the moment of choosing which degree to study at university, I also have several options open. I realized studying biology at high school that I really liked what was happening inside the cell. So then I decided to study biochemistry. When I was finishing biochemistry, I thought that I really enjoyed that part where you look into how things are happening inside the cell, what it's called gene regulation. So basically, why, if all cells have the same genome, right? So if all cells have a DNA, why it's so different a cell that is part of our skin or a cell that is part of our eye, or in the case of plants, that is what I'm studying, how it's possible that with the same genome we may have something so different as a root or a leaf, a petal, etc. And that what it's doing is basically, so there is like a incredible organization that is really controlling which genes that are part of the genome are going to be expressed in terms of proteins or not, and that is going to end up producing all different sorts of cells. So basically, I realized when I finished biochemistry that I wanted to look into that. But I knew that I didn't want to do anything related with my biomedicine, for example. So then what I did was to do a master. That is something that you do after university. So you get more experience in what will be to do a research project. And then after that, I decided to do a PhD. So that is where you work for 3-4 years in a lab. Then you have your own research project, and at the end of that you will get a PhD. So that means that in my case I end up being a doctor in biochemistry. So after that I was specialized enough and I wanted to continue doing more research. So I did that as a postdoctoral research associate. I came to UK for that, and I wanted to move fields a bit. So I did my PhD studying a group of bacteria and the gene regulation that was happening in there. But I was very excited about specific type of molecules that are called small RNAs and are regulators as well. Those small RNAs, those that I wanted to study were only present in eukaryotes. So that means plants, animals, etc. So then I moved to plants. And then I start studying that type of process in plants. That may look like a very small career change for you, but actually was a big thing because I moved from prokaryotes to eukaryotes. And I started something that was totally new to me, that was studying these small RNAs, even if it was in the big context of gene regulation. So then I did that as a postdoc. And later on, I am now in the position that I have at the moment at the university, where I am leading my own research group. So what I do as a group leader is to have like the big picture of where I want to be or what I want to do in terms of research in several years. And then you have a group of people that could be PhD students, could be master students, some undergraduates, technicians, postdocs, etc. And they all have their own independent project, but they are related as part of this big picture that you want to do in your research. It's a very nice environment because there are several research groups at the university. So then you talk to other people, you exchange information, you collaborate a lot, you travel around the world for conferences, networking, etc. So we spend a lot of time doing research, but also disseminating those results that we got in different sorts scientific papers, obviously, because this is like a very open community. You don't want to share that research that you are doing for yourself. You want to open that to the public, so then everybody can read about your research, can comment on that, can help you to improve. And then, we are building on top of that, trying to achieve a goal. So in my case, as I was saying, we are looking at gene regulation in plants, but some of the questions that we would like to answer, or that open questions that we want to help with our research, is, for example, how to make plants that are going to produce a bigger yield, how to improve yield in the concepts of food security, how to make sure that we can keep the productivity of plants to produce food that is going to be enough for the human population. Or, for example, how are we going to make plants that are going to resist future atmospheric conditions? So you can think now on climate change, how plants needs to cope with that stress of an increase in temperature, for example, how plants can cope pathogens, if we can create plants that are going to be more resistant to pathogens. So then that will also revert on food security. So this is what we are trying to do, as you see. So this is the type of research that we do. So as you can see, it has been quite step by step in my career. So I finished my degree, but then I got specialized in a master. And then as part of that master, you get training. And then I got further training as part of my PhD, and so on. So many people finish with the same degree than me, but we all have different expertises because we are working in different fields. So there are many options that are available for you after you have finished one of your degrees. So there are many different paths that may not be so obvious for you right now, but that you will see once that you enter that avenue. So I share with you my career path because I thought that could be useful for you to listen from someone that has been where you were a few years back. So when I was sitting where you are at the moment, it was not clear to me what I wanted to do in my future. If someone would have asked the 16-year-old that was me at that time, I would never say that I wanted to be a group leader working in plant RNA biology. That is what I'm doing. But I would say that I am really in the job that I want to be. So I am really happy about what I'm doing every day. I really enjoy my job. I love to do research that could be useful for people, and I love to teach the new generation of scientists. So my first message is, it's okay if you don't know what to do. If you know what to do, is also fine. Don't compare yourself with others. Each of us is going to go through our own path. You need to discover what you want to do. So don't compare to others. And it's okay if you are not at the same stage of what you want to do, okay? In my case, as you have seen, I discovered what I wanted to do as I was walking that path. And I'm happy with the result. So that is okay. My third advice, if I am allowed to give you some advice, is that really do something that you enjoy. I mentioned before that I really enjoy what I am doing. You will see that we will spend certain hours per day working. So it's good if you are doing something that you really like, okay? So I think that the ideal situation is when you are doing something that you really enjoy. Is something that, at least according to my priorities, is useful for the rest of humanity. You are doing something that could be useful for others. Ideally, is something that you are good at that, and also that you are paid for that, because you will need to spend those hours doing that. So it's good if you can make a living from that. So that would be like the perfect scenario. But it's okay if you don't land in your perfect job first thing after you are finishing your degree, or it's okay if you don't know which type of job could be. Okay, so as I said, it's a learning process. My fourth piece of advice would be, it's okay if you make mistakes, or if you start something that at the end you realize that is not what you want to do. Or maybe it's okay for a period of your time, but then you realize that you want to reinvent yourself. That is perfectly fine as well. And sometimes we learn more from those experiences than having a perfect career path, so realizing or discovering what really brings you happiness, and the things that don't make you so happy, is very important as well. And this is part of the learning process. So be kind to yourselves. Also, I mentioned the priorities. Those are important to me. It could be that you have different priorities. So for example, I said to do something that I enjoy, that is good for others, or that you can contribute to society, that you can have an impact, but also that you are good at that, or that it will help you to make money. I said money at the very end. But if for you it's very important to make money and you want to make tons of money, then that will be your priority. So then you can put that first, you see? So going back again to the point that each of us has our own path, okay? And just finally, enjoy the process, okay? So as I said, be kind to yourself, explore options, talk to people, see what they like about their jobs and what they don't. Look for those things that resonate with you, and just give you time to discover what you want to do, or what you may don't want to do, and then you have always time to go back and look for something else. Okay, good luck, the best of luck, and enjoy this process. Bye.